Welcome to everyone. I'm Jim Johnson, and to assist me with today's match commentary, I'm sitting next to that famous ex-player, Bob Biffin.
Yeah, here I am, Jim. Well, I hope you're settled in and ready for the match.
Yes, I think I'll just slip out and get myself a small beverage before the kickoff.
When you look up the difference between the sides, you have to wonder how many players will finish this match.
They should all finish it, but in what state? That's the point.
The ball goes skywards, and the match is on.
They can start to move forward.
Poetry in motion.
What we'd like to see
More often.
Can't say much about that.
Full-blooded, but perfectly legal. Now that looks like a pretty serious injury.
Just a flesh wound.
4 inches deep. Every now and again, Blood Bowl throws up a real mixed bag of a team.
Like the motley horde that's made up of a bunch of misfits.
Yeah, can't be easy to coach those cast-offs every day of the week.
He checked that move.
Made him look stupid, you mean?
Did you know one of the most unsportsmanlike Nurgle teams out there is the Decayed Renegade?
Oh, yeah, Jim. And they have a large appetite for foul play.
Let's hope for some of that action today, Bob.
Indeed, Jim.
I don't know if we really like that uppercut.
He may not have liked it, but he certainly ate it.
Nurgle. Why are Nurgle teams always so popular, Bob?
Because all their fans are infected, Jim.
Hold still and then pow! Right in the face. If it wasn't for the blood flowing from his nose and mouth, you'd swear he was having a rest. I bet that hurt. Good job his nose got in the way.
Yeah, otherwise he'd have got it full in the face.
Ew, here we go, Nurgle style again, Bob.
Who can argue with some high-quality infectious foul play, Jim?
Indeed, Bob. Sure is funny to see the opposition trying to stay healthy when they play against a Nurgle team.
That's true, Jim. I think we're lucky commentating and watching the game from afar, Jim. In a game as physical as this, the player is really in the right place.
Exactly. It's really ugly.
What violence!
Yes! It's a great spectacle, Bob. Who doesn't remember the Badlands Deadskins and their mummies back in the old days, Bob?
A very interesting story indeed, Jim. Apparently Javlar Kavlar, the head coach of the Deadskins, was unable to find some preserved mummies. So he fielded 2 flesh golems instead.
Indeed, Bob, and he clad them from head to toe in bandages. There's no way he's gonna score a touchdown, laid out on the pitch like that.
Incoming!
Well, it is a violent sport. What finesse, what style, what perfection.
What a hammer blow!
Do you remember when the first necromantic teams started to appear in the minor circuits, Bob?
Oh yeah, that sure was fun, Jim.
Especially when they fielded skeletons and werewolves at the same time, Bob.
I remember the werewolves kept running away with the skeleton's bones, much to the delight of the fans.
Finally, there's one that lets his biceps do the talking.
Yeah, but from his opponent's point of view, it was a short conversation.
He's got the ball! Nice catch!
He's winding back his arm.
Bang!
On target!
Things are hotting up.
Oh yes, the fans are already on their feet.
Just look at the fans. They're red hot. A majority of supporters reckon that the league should take measures to prevent the small minority of peaceful fans from watching a match from the terraces.
They've got a point. If they don't want to join in the fun, they might as well stay home and watch it on Cablevision.
Well, that's one with a good reason to go see the apothecary.
Yep, looks like he's gonna need a good one.
This player was really strong. Do you think they have some troll blood in them?
Could be. Or maybe his opponent shouldn't speak that way about the family.
Slime balls, diseases, rotting flesh. To some, it's a beautiful sight, Bob.
Don't forget the smell, Jim.
Oh, really? Thanks for reminding me. I didn't notice that pungent, acrid stench of death and bile. God, bleh. This player needs some time to get his senses back.
What a coward.
Get up, loser.
Charge!
Don't hit me, don't hit me.
Oops, I'm sorry. That's an old reflex on hearing the starting whistle.
Look over there. Some cute little elf beauties are selling big moot sandwiches in the stands.
Hey, I'm off to get one. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
And so now you like big moot sandwiches?
Yeah, no way. Elf beauty, yeah. It's a catch! Now this player just needs to survive!
Nice left punch. Right on the nose.
Sure was, Jim. It's broken now. That's what happens when a pro crosses an amateur.
Yes, splotch. We don't see much of the heroes of law these days.
I don't know.
For any spectators who aren't aware, the heroes of law hope to show the world a better way by honest, strategic play on the pitch.
It's probably a good thing we don't see them. Boom! In the face, and then followed by a clean uppercut. Well done! Haha! Stunned!
What an idiot!
Did you know that the Grimjacks were the very first team to experiment with flesh golems instead of mummies?
Oh yeah, Bob. The famous flesh golem, Frank Einstein, made a debut with that team.
Oh yeah, Jim. Frank, who lost count of his replacement limbs. I think he's singing him a lullaby. Ouch! Right in the face. The other guy couldn't dodge that one.
Now there's one that won't be coming back in a hurry.
Upside down, that's one way to look at things.
Something must be broken.
Probably nose, a few teeth, an arm. You know, regular stuff.
Wizards have not always been able to cast spells safely from behind the sidelines. Were you playing at the time in an Albion League, a second division that prohibited spellcasting from off the pitch?
Oh, yes. They were great times. I remember fans traveling to games just to see how well Wizards stood up to the mad charge of a raving Blood Bowl star. The noise created by a sizzling fireball, followed by the characteristic sound of the snapping of a wizard's neck.
And don't forget, children, don't try and do this at home. Remember, these are seasoned professionals.
Well, one of them is anyway.
That right hook was worthy of a black orc.
You're telling me it'll take a while to get over. A recent medical report stated that cerebral hemorrhages were less frequent in Blood Bowl players. Amazing when you come to think of it.
Not really, when you consider that brains are also less frequent. Punch knocked his teeth down his throat.
Yes, Tim, that's never a nice sight.
As soon as he throws his first punch.
We know the opponent will be out for lunch.
This player has opened the slapping box and gives rather generously. The player gets hold of the ball. Touchdown coming up. Let's go, guys. We'll see if the opposition has got an answer.
I'm sure several of those players will be happy that he's heading back to the changing rooms for the halftime interview.
Yes, and I'm sure that the operating tables and catgut are ready to welcome them.
Did you know the Nurgle rotters went missing in the Sea of Ice in '88?
That's right, Bob. They drifted for years, all the players frozen stiff in huge blocks of ice.
Until some local fishermen boarded the vessel and brought it southwards. Once defrosted, they were quickly back in business.
That's right, Bob. By the time the boat arrived back to shore, the crew had become devoted fans, and the ship's cat transformed into a beast of Nurgle. It looks like nothing can stop the Nurgle's rotters.
And we're off! Ouch! Oh, he's knocked him senseless.
You're assuming then that he had something between his ears to begin with.
Oh, brilliant sidekick to the face. Let's see that again in slow-mo.
He's recovered the ball.
Ew, slime balls, diseases, rotting flesh. To some, it's a beautiful sight, Bob.
Don't forget the smell, Jim.
Oh, really? Thanks for reminding me. I didn't notice that pungent, acrid stench of death and bile. God, bleh! The Referees Guild has decided to hire a bodyguard for each game.
Another brilliant idea. And just how effective will one bodyguard be against a stadium full of supporters?
True, could be a bit one-sided. He sent him down for a chat with the astrogranite. What? Right on the spuzzle.
He'll have a bit of trouble blowing his nose from now on.
Right hook was worthy of a black hawk.
You're telling me it'll take a while to get over it. Corruption is so widespread that the Referees Guild has set out rules concerning where, when, and how one can accept a bribe.
Under an agreement signed last season, the clubs are not allowed to offer less than the going rate.
You think he'll be able to get up after that blow, Jim?
Oh, yes. He's not the sort to stay down.
I've heard of teams that have simply disappeared after being abandoned by their supporters.
Let's say that some teams who haven't won a match for several years have been tied up by their fans and thrown into rubbish containers.
It's the only way to end a downward spiral.
That's one regulation clobbering. Blood Bowl players are getting more like their Albion League cousins every day.
That wasn't a light touch that put him down, Jim. That was a solid chop to the back of the neck. That's what happens when a pro crosses an amateur.
Yes, splodge.
The Blood Bowl annals are littered with the stories of teams who've gone bust with crippling debts.
And with the cost of doping and bribery on the rise, the problem won't be going away.
Just look at the way his feet and hands are twitching.
The punch is still echoing round his body. This player was really strong. Do you think they have some troll blood in them?
Could be. Or maybe his opponent shouldn't speak that way about the family.
There was a time when the colleges of magic hadn't yet ruled on limiting wizard assistants to teams.
Who could forget the infamous 2472 Quagmire incident, when rampant spellcasting caused the entire Bright Crusaders Stadium to sink into the earth?
Nobody could forget that. People were blinded for miles around the stadium.
Wow! I can tell you straight, that hurts. What finish, what style, what perfection.
What a hammer blow!
Squeeze through the smallest of gaps. Hold still, and then pow! Right in the face.
Incoming!
Well, it is a violent sport. Today's insight comes from Heini Schnipp, coach and owner of the Goblin Lowdown Rats team. In yesterday's Spike magazine, he said that Blood Bowl was like war. No winners, just survivors.
Oh, that's deep. About as deep as his team's position in the rankings. Doesn't look like he'll be getting back on his feet too soon.
He should be up before next week's match.
Upside down, that's one way to look at things.
Fortunately for that player, medicine has come on leaps and bounds since your days, Bob.
I hope so, Jim. Yes, I hope so. Doping is really endemic in this sport.
Isn't it written into the game rules? I don't know if we really like that uppercut.
He may not have liked it, but he certainly ate it.
Another sports accident.
Rest in peace.
I think he's singing him a lullaby.
We can thank the Necromantic Broadcasting Circle for introducing the sport to so many necromancers.
That's true, Jim. Blood Bowl would surely be empty without howling werewolves and flesh golems and their replacement limbs.
Good job there from a pair of safe hands. Nice flying pass. Bravo! Looks like there was some bad blood between those two, eh, Bob?
Yeah, Jim. Something to do with swapped body part.
his teeth down his throat.
Yes, Jim, that's never a nice sight.
Did you know one of the most unsportsmanlike Nurgle teams out there is the Decayed Renegade?
Oh, yeah, Jim. And they have a large appetite for foul play.
Let's hope for some of that action today, Bob.
Indeed, Jim. Have a nice sleep.
Little baby gets his medicine and he's having a little nap. He sent him down for a chat with the Astro Granny.
Oh, brilliant sidekick to the face. Let's see that again in slow motion. Did you know that the Grimjacks were the very first team to experiment with flesh golems instead of mummies?
Oh yeah, Bob. The famous flesh golem, Frank Einstein, made a debut with that team.
Oh yeah, Jim. Frank, who lost count of it.
The ball is in his hand. That reminds me of when I took Griff to bits in the 91 final against Reichland.
Oh yeah, you kneecapped him.
What you get, a bunch of rookies tries to take on a team of seasoned pros.
Right, Bob. It was a stroll in the park.
A bit of a letdown, because it takes two to tango.
Two to rumble.
Shouldn't that be rumba?
No, rumble. This match had it all, and there's no surprise to see it given such a high mark. Blood, arms ripped off, broken teeth, broken bones, and what do they end up with?
A miserable defeat for a team that had all the cards in hand to win this match. They must be disappointed, but they've got to convert possession into points on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they look very pretty, passing the ball around, but there's no points for artistic merit.
MVP looks great on a CV, But what really counts is for the team to win.
Well, he did his best, but it just wasn't good enough. They had them under pressure for the whole of the match, and I reckon I could count the incursions out of their own half on the fingers of one hand.
You can pick up these enhancements wherever you want, anywhere, and they've got none here for this match.
What is this sport coming to?
Did you see a referee out there today?
I don't know. I definitely did see any cards.